In this video, I'm going to make this simple resume example for a cashier position using Microsoft Word. Now, if you prefer to save some time and want to download matching resumes and cover letter templates, then click on the link in the description for more information. Now, I will also provide you with tips on how to put your skills and qualifications on the resume to make it better than 9 out of 10 other resumes, based on recent data. Now, without further ado, let's start making this resume. Okay, so we start off with a blank page in Microsoft Word, and the first thing I would like to change are the margin settings in the Layout tab. So instead of normal, we pick the narrow settings to avoid cropped sentences, and so we have some extra space. Now after that, we go to the Insert tab and select the simple text box in the Shapes menu. Cover the header area like this. Okay, and I would like no outline and a grayish shape fill. Alright, let me zoom in a bit more. And then we include the name and surname in the header area. Now go to the Home tab to center it and increase the font size to, let's say, 24. Bold highlight it to make it stand out a bit more. Underneath we enter our contact information. We start with the city and state, then the email address. Let's remove the hyperlink by pressing Command or Ctrl Z, and then we enter the phone number. And at last, a link to your LinkedIn profile, if you have one at least. Alright, and align the text box. Now as you can see, we need to detach the cursor from the text box. Now press the spacebar once and the enter button a couple of times to do so. Let's divide the resume into sections, including an objective, education, skills, experience, and interest section in caps lock. Okay, so let's create 2 white lines in between each section. Okay, and bold highlight objective and center it as well. We also need to adjust the line spacing options. Go to the spacing settings and change these to 12 points before and 12 points after. And then tap OK. Now if it turns out you need more text to fit on one page, you can easily reduce this afterwards. I also want to add some borders to visually separate these sections from the body text. Now click on this little arrow icon and pick top and bottom borders in the drop down menu. Furthermore, pick in between the 13 to 16 point font size. 14 looks fine in my opinion. Now to save some time, I would like to copy and paste the formatting of this section. Now place the cursor in the middle of the keyword, click the format painter twice and select the other sections. Okay, and make sure to disable the formatting option as well. Now let's start with the objective, and I would advise you to use this section to direct the reader's attention and inform them about the most important pieces of information, like who or what kind of person you are, what expertise you would like to leverage, the position you are after, and optionally inform them about your availability. Okay, let me center this paragraph and move on to the next section. Alright, now let's start adding the educational background, so the high school or university's name and the degree. Make it stand out a bit more using bold and italics. After that you include the city, state and time spent in college. Now to right align this part, we need a ruler. Now if you don't see this option, you need to go to the View tab and enable Ruler. Okay, let me show you what this option does. So if you place the cursor right here, click somewhere in the ruler to place a left tab stop and press tab. Now drag it like this for proper alignment. Underneath you can add your grade point average or GPA, extracurricular activities, minors you followed, and or for example an expected graduation date. Now if you've completed some relevant coursework or obtained some important certificates, you can add this information in here. Okay, that brings us to the skills section. Now properly list some of your most important cashier or customer service skills using Word's table designs. Now go to the Insert tab, click on the table drop-down menu and pick a 3x1 table. Now as you can see, the default table margins don't align with our page margins. Now let's change that to make it look a bit cleaner. Now go to the table layout, cell margins and put the left and right margin settings to 0 and tap OK. Now before I add some skills related to the job description, research shows that applicants matched only 51% of the relevant keywords and skills on their resumes. So let me add some important ones and categorize them to improve the readability. Next up, I want to align these cells. And after that, remove the borders. Now, in order to do so, select the whole table, click the drop down icon and select No Borders. Okay, that looks perfectly fine. Now scroll down to the experience section. Let's say we have some experience as a retail cashier. Let me enter some working experience and fast forward a bit. Now I structured these sentences according to the PAR method, which stands for problem, action and results. That way, you bring impact and purpose to your experiences. Same goes for using action verbs at the beginning of each sentence. Action verbs like assisted, performed and praised. Or what about quantifying your experiences? Now don't worry if you can't apply all of these to your resume. 9 out of 10 resumes don't apply any. Okay, let me add another paragraph and move on to the interest section. Now although this section is not a requirement, I would advise you to include it in your resume, because it takes just a couple of words to show the human side behind the resume. Now that doesn't mean you should add some fluffy buzzwords and cliches, like around 51% of the applicants include in their resume, but try to grab the reader's interest by making it relevant or relatable. Now, if you want to come across as someone that is adventurous, enter for example, traveling, and also inform the reader about your travel ambitions. Or perhaps you like doing basketball and add for example your favorite team and player. Or what about watching Netflix? Include some of your favorite series and write something along the lines of binge-watched Game of Thrones and The Sopranos. Now there's a big chance that the reader watched one of these as well, so you already have some mutual interests. Anyway, I hope you get the idea. Now keep your resume short, concise and to the point. Recent data shows that the ideal resume length is in between the 475 to 600 words. A stunning 77% of the resumes were outside of that range. Lastly, I also want to emphasize the importance of properly sending your resume. Now, unless instructed otherwise, save your resume as a PDF or Word document attached to the email and save it accordingly. So, name, surname, resume. Now that way, the reader will know that it is yours without even opening the file. Now, all these little things prove your attention to detail and can make the difference between getting that job or not. Okay, so before I end this video, I would like to know if you watched the whole video. And I'm even more curious if you actually got the cashier position. Leave an emoji with glasses if you watched the video till the end. And leave an emoji with sunglasses if you got the job. I want to thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, leave a comment down below and I'll respond as soon as possible. Now, if this video was helpful, then a like and subscribe is greatly appreciated. Thanks again for watching and see you next time. Bye!